Alright, hey guys, Crystal here with Sea Life Soapery. And if you guys can see, I have kind of a different setup here. I'm trying something new out. While I talk to you about my setup and all that and what we're doing today, of course you can see we're doing our hot process soap. So while I am talking about that, I'm going to go ahead and get my lye into my water here. And I'm going to let that be cooling down while I talk to you guys. Yes, I'm going to be putting my gloves on. I'm going to put those on in just a second. I really don't need gloves just to put lye in here. So I'm just going to sit here and stir it for a minute. As you guys can see, that is not water. Yeah, that's not water, guys. That is an actual herbal infusion. And I infused, it's actually called a decoction. I can't pronounce that right, but it's something like that. But what it is, it's dandelion leaf and it's calendula, and it's steeped in boiling water on a simmer for about 4 to 5 hours. And then you drain the herbs, and then you get all the goodness that's in the liquid that's left behind. And the soap that we're doing today is a mechanic soap. It's not going to have any fragrance in it. This is a gardener soap, as most people would say, gardener / mechanics. It's when you get a lot of dirt and grease and grime, you know, throughout the day on your hands and your fingers. You're going to need a good, reliable soap to take all that off. So that's what we're making today. I got my oils at about 100, and let me see, it should be about 165, 160. And it's at 155, so that's close to it. And then it'll probably, the number will jump up if I were to mix it. If I were to take my spatula and mix it around, it'd probably be about 160s, 165. And that's what I like to make my hot process soap at. In my opinion, you don't need your hot process soap to be at 200 plus degrees in order to cook it. And I also cook my hot process quickly. So I do stick blender hot process, is pretty much what you would call it. So we're just going to sit here and wait for these to cool down a little bit. They're a little bit too hot. Yeah, they're at 200 degrees. I need it to be at least about 170, because you want your oils and your lye water to be about 10 degrees from each other, whether they're soaping with cold process or with hot process. So that's just something that you're going to want that. 175, 180 will probably be okay. But I don't want to, you know, jump any further than that. So maybe 180, we'll go ahead and we'll combine our oils and our lye together. Now I'm doing this at a 0 super fat, because with hot process soap, I like to super fat by myself. I don't like, with hot process, I don't like, you know, soap calc deciding, you know, what percentage of super fat I have. And with hot process, you can definitely do that. Now, I don't like doing this with cold process. I only like super fatting the soap myself with hot process. And I feel like with certain soaps, they do better with hot process. And that way I know that all 6% of this shea butter is going to be super fat. When you, and I don't know if most of you know, but when you include the super fat in your soap calc, in your soap calc recipe, whatever oils that have not been saponified at the, you know, after the lye is mixed with your oil, that is what decides your super fat. So maybe 2% of that's coconut oil, maybe 3% of that is, you know, palm oil. It's the oils that you really don't want in the super fat. You can't decide which ones get saponified and which ones don't, because you have a whole array of oils. When it comes to hot process soaping and super fatting yourself, I know that without a shadow of doubt that 100% of these oils are going to be turned into soap. And I know that without a shadow of a doubt that all 6%, which I'm super fatting at 6% today, all 6% of these the shea butter is going to be my super fat. So that's why a lot of people prefer hot process over cold process. There's nothing wrong with cold process. I do mainly cold process, but I absolutely love hot process in the way that on certain bars that it comes out. I do my mechanic soap like this one in a hot process. I do my oatmeal milk and honey, I believe, does better with hot process. There's just certain soaps that do a lot better with hot process soap. So, alright, we're at 169. It's good. Let's go ahead and get our Kaolin clay and our glacier clay in there. I want to move it. I gotta look at the camera, guys. See? Move it just a little bit here. There we go. That way I can get to it. Let's go ahead and get this Kaolin clay and stuff mixed up. Check our oils one more time, and they're at 150, so we are good to go. All right, let me get my gloves on. Oh, and I gotta go get my glasses too. Hold on. Or my safety, well, they're not safety goggles, but they're glasses. Just 1 second, guys. Alright, while I was getting that one ahead and got my lid to the crock pot here. Let me put those on. It's good and melted, or good and combined. We're going to combine our lye now and our dandelion / calendula infused lye oil, or lye water, excuse me. I also have some sugar and sodium lactate in this. Yay, I've got sodium lactate now. I know I've been griping about sodium lactate. A new subscriber actually sent me the sodium lactate. I actually found her on her videos, and she subscribed to mine, which was pretty cool. And she sent me some sodium lactate, so I was like, awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and get this mixed. Now it's going to be like this brownish color because of the herbal infusion that I've got there. Now this is a very concentrated amount of lye, because I'm going to be using about 2 ounces of heavy cream and towards the end of the cook. So it's a very high concentrated lye solution. What the temperature's at. 160. This recipe is taking a little bit longer to come to trace. It's starting to come together now. Y'all, I need to get my muscles back going. That is not good. No. Alright, it's starting to thicken up. I wonder if this recipe would be good for cold process. One that I would need for, like, you know, to stay liquid for a long period of time. I wonder. My brain's going now, guys. Alright, so this is at a good pudding-like consistency. It did take a while to thicken up, but that's okay. It will cook nonetheless. Whenever you stick blend your hot process, you do want to add a kind of like a pudding-like consistency that it is now, maybe a little bit further than what it is now. But if you don't, you know, it's okay. If you don't get it exactly like that, I need to go ahead and get some water to pour into that. So we are good and we are mixed, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on, and then we will be right back whenever it gets to the point where I need to stick blend, okay? So stay tuned. So it is volcanoing and it's reaching the top. I'm just going to let it volcano for a second. We want it to do this. There we go. Let me stir that down. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. Stir it down. We want it to volcano because that means that the light is being cooked out of it. And that also means it is time to stick blend. Yay. Stick blender, hot process. Mix it quickly. Alright. Go ahead and get it ready. Alright, guys. Let's go ahead and get this stick blended. And it should rise up again. There it goes, a little bit slowly. There it goes. See that, guys? That means we're cooking. And that also means I'm doing this right. I've not done hot process in so long. I had a trial run last night and it just was not working out for me. And now tonight it looks like we're doing pretty good. So thumbs up, right? Keep on going, baby. Just keep on rising. And that's what we want to see. I don't even know what temperature we're at. On the inside, it's going to be a little bit different. But that is about 206 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and turn that down just to keep warm. We do not need it at that high a temperature to cook. I like to start out at about 160 because I know that the temperature is going to rise. So starting out at like 200, that's just, I mean, unless you know your crock pot well enough to where you can like keep it below that number. But for me, I just, you know, do it like this. Sorry it's so loud, guys. Alright. You don't need a stick blend again, right now. Let's go ahead and stir it. Oh, that is so lovely. That's good and big and fluffy. Look at that, you guys. Look at that. Alright, so from here on out, we're just going to go ahead. We're going to put our lid on. We're going to let it continue to cook, and then we'll be back when it's done, guys, and it's time to put it in the super fat, so stay tuned. So my heavy whipping cream, which is in here, is about around the temperature that's in there. So we're going to go ahead and put that in, and then give it a good mix. It's going to cool it down quite a bit when we mix it here. Oh, that looks good. That looks really, really good. Alright, so now we're going to put our exfoliant in. That's going to go, and it's going to make it cool down a lot more as well. So there's our coffee. And then we'll just sprinkle that in there. And go ahead and mix that in. And then we are done, guys. And all we got left to do is to mold it. So ooh, it looks like it's really smooth, you guys. Oh my goodness. This looks good. This soap looks really good. It's a little hot. That's okay. We just want that exfoliant to get in there really good. And then we will color it. So we're going to go ahead and put the color in there. Just putting it into this right here, so you guys can see. Oh. This soap is turning out to be wonderful, you guys. It's almost there. Alright, so it's full. We're going to go ahead and put our colorants into our oils here. Now, I made this soap last night, so I'm doing it over because it did not work last night. Last night I put it with some fragrance, and it made my soap seize. So we're just going to do this, mixing this together. Go ahead and put it in that. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm so sorry. I'm still getting used to this new whole camera setup here. Alright. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, mama, that's hot. Alright, so there's that. Now we're going to put some TD in this one. Alright. Get it mixed up. There we go. That looks good. All this soap is doing much better than it did last night, let me tell you guys. Doing much, much, much better. Look at that. That looks wonderful. This soap's going to be good, guys. I can already tell this soap is going to be good. Alright, that's good and mixed up. Let's go ahead and get the mold, which is my Essential Depot mold. I love this mold. It's been through some stuff. Been through some soaping, so I don't know if you guys can see. Like I said, this new setup is kind of different for me. So I'm going to put a layer of the brown on the bottom, Spread that out. It looks good, guys. A little bit more. Alright. Now for some white. Sorry if my arm's in the way, you guys. I'm trying to see this new setup here. Maybe it'll be good. I don't know. I won't see until I edit the video. Alright. Now with my dowel, after I do this, we will mix it up. So almost all the brown is in there now. Alright, now we're going to put the rest on top. Soap is going to be good, you guys. I can already tell. Alright, so there is that. Let's get this. That looks good, you guys. Alright, so I'm going to give it a tap down on the ground, and then let me get my dowel. Alright, that's good, and tap down. Alright, so we got my dowel, and we are going to give it a swirl. Get all that brown mixed in with the white. Make it look somewhat pretty. Oh, even though it's a mechanic soap, that looks really good, guys. Alright. One more tap down. Alright, look how wonderful that looks. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a swirl. Alright guys, so that is pretty much it. So here is our hot process mechanic soap. Alright, so we're going to give it a rest for about 24 hours and we'll bring it back for the cut. Bye-bye. Hey guys, and we're back. We're back to cut my mechanic soap. And this is what it looks like. And look at this, you guys. Look how smooth. This is why I love sodium lactate. I finally got some sodium lactate. Look how good and hard and smooth that looks, you guys. So we have a little bit of the top pieces just coming off. It's a hot process soap. I mean, it's going to have some top pieces coming off of it. And I'm really excited to see how this soap performs. Like I said, this is a mechanic soap, so it doesn't have any fragrance or anything like that. And I'm still getting used to the camera angles. So hopefully you guys can see okay. Let's go ahead and get this cut. And like I was saying, I'm really excited about seeing how this performs. So you can see the little specks, which is the exfoliant, but you don't really, you can feel it, but not too bad. So it's not like overly, it's not like real scrubby or anything, but I'm sure you'll be able to feel it once you wash your hands with it. And I made this with a friend of mine in mind. So Well, actually, I have several other customers that loved my mechanic soap before, I took my break. And I've contacted them, let them know that I am, got it made again, even though it is somewhat a different recipe because I did lose my recipe when in the move. I lost almost all my recipes. So hopefully this one will hold up and stand up to like the last one did. And I think those are cutting just a little bit too thick. Let me fix this a little bit. So I am going to test it out after I get done cutting it. All right, that's a little bit better. But yes, so Gardener's Mechanic Soap with exfoliant. And my liquid was a decoction, which is an infusion. It's an herbal infusion. And it's just where I infused it in dandelion and in calendula and dried herbs. And I let it simmer for about 3 hours is what you do. And then I drained it. I put the liquid in a bowl. And then I, smashed out the actual dandelion and the calendula. Got all the liquid out of it and then just threw the herbs away. There's really no sense of keeping the herbs once you do the infusion. So I really, really think that this is going to be a good soap, guys. I'm excited. I love doing hot process soaps. I really do. I love the way hot process soaps feel. On a lot of recipes, I'd rather have hot process than cold. So, had to go to the emergency room today with my daughter. My daughter's been, my 17-year-old, well, she's almost 17. She's been having these stomach attacks for, oh gosh, over a year. And this is our 3rd trip to the ER in less than 2 months. And she went to school this morning and she had another attack in her stomach and they called 911. So we've been home just for a little while. They still didn't find anything. We've been waiting on a gastro referral for over a month, and I finally got on the phone with them, and the gastro that her doctor referred her to actually does not take patients under 18. So we didn't know that, and so they're getting her in to see a different doctor. Hopefully with the GI doctor we'll get some answers, because she has just been, her stomach issues have just gotten worse and worse. So we're hoping and praying that, this GI doctor finds out what's wrong with her. So that's pretty much what's been going on, guys. And I want to thank you for joining me today. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. If you want to, go ahead and head on over to our group. It's called Suds Crazy. It just SUDZCRAZY. I'll have that in the description box below. I want everybody to come join us if you'd like to show off your creations. If you're a new soaper, don't feel afraid to come and ask questions. It's right there in my the bio of the group, right there, the pinned post, that I'm trying to get people to overcome the past days of, don't ask me questions, figure it out on your own, kind of like what happened to me when I first started soaping. I reached out for help and asked some questions through several soap makers that I seen on YouTube, and a lot of them were very rude and pretty much just told me to figure it out. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I mean, of course I'll eventually figure it out, but it would have been kind of nice if there was soapers that said, hey, I can help you out with this. And I'm not saying about recipes, because I completely agree. I don't give out my recipes. I get emails almost every single day asking me for this or that recipe, and I just politely tell them no. I can tell you what oils are good and what, the figurations are for soap calc and stuff like that, but I won't give out my actual recipes, so you don't have to do that. But just come on over to Suds Crazy and show us what you got, guys. Let's see your work. So, alright, I'm going to get off here. I'm actually thinking about just taking one of these and putting it in half and going and scrubbing my hands with it. I told you before that I'm going to get my hands good and black and get some grease and stuff on there, and we'll figure out, we'll put this baby to a test. But I'm not going to do that till it cures for a couple more days. But I am going to test it out right now because it's hot process. You can go ahead and test it out. So I'm going to see how it does just on clean hands. And then we'll see how it does on 31. So until the next video, guys, bye-bye.